In my last video, I gave you an explanation of imposter syndrome. In this video, I'm gonna give you 6 examples of my own experiences with this syndrome. Let's get to it. Firstly, when I was 19 and had just arrived at the dance academy in the Netherlands, I was handpicked for a dance role in Patty Obie's jazz piece, Ready, Set, Go. Patty Obie is an American choreographer and dance master from Chicago, and she chose me because she saw great potential in me. I was talented and worked hard, but I was incapable of seeing that. I could never fathom that those were the reasons she had wanted me to dance in her piece. I kept telling myself that she'd only pick me because I was a male dancer and she needed another male dancer and they're kind of hard to find. So during the rehearsals with the other dancers, I felt like an imposter, like I didn't belong there, that I hadn't earned my place. I was waiting for the moment that I'd be called out for being bad and that I had to leave. That moment never came though, so I apparently did belong, although I never felt I did. Secondly, when I was 20 and was learning Dutch, I learned it very quickly and was great at it, and I thought that was simply because Swedish and Dutch are similar as they are both Germanic languages. I completely disregarded the fact that I had put in a lot of arduous work and effort into learning it, and that the real reason I learned Dutch so quickly was due to my own work and intelligence. So I downplayed my own success and attributed it to outside factors and said, I'm just lucky that Dutch and Swedish aren't all that different. And I'd attended prep school in Sweden, so how hard could it be? Now, as a Swedish teacher though, I know that only a few people can easily detect all the links between the languages, and that although Swedish and Dutch are related, they are not all that similar. So the fact that I could easily learn Dutch, the fact that I could quickly learn Dutch had nothing to do with luck. I can see that now. Thirdly, in college, I didn't believe I was naturally intelligent or competent. I thought the only reason I acquired good grades was because I was working hard. If I stopped studying hard, everyone would find out I had no brains. What kept me working hard was my fear of not living up to expectations. I overachieved and kept doubting myself. I do not think I can do this. I was just lucky I got through that exam because I had asked for help. How am I going to make it through the next one? Because I was black, I'm still black, but because I was black in a white country, it felt like I constantly had to prove that we black people aren't stupid. It felt like I didn't belong because I'm black. I didn't belong because I was black. And that was also a reason I kept on working hard, because it felt like in everything I did, I represented all black people. And I really did experience that situation I described in my last video. The only reason I survived that presentation was because I had gone over it 3 times extra last night. Finally, boy did I hate those moments when I fell short. If I'd aimed for a 9 and was given a 7, or even worse, a 6, I berated myself for days. Fourthly, in 2010, I thought of a great story for a novel and started writing it. Throughout the writing process, I felt that it was a great story. I loved it. This is gonna be so good, this is gonna be so good. But then, when I was ready to send off the final draft to literary agents, I froze. I suddenly hated the idea of promoting myself and my work because I felt I didn't have the same level of experience and expertise as authors who'd already been published. So promoting myself as if I were just as good as they are made me feel like a fraud. So I eventually opted to self-publish my novel, which I totally and deeply regret now. I hate the fact that I didn't believe in myself, in my own potential, and that I felt like an imposter and a fraud when I was trying to get my novel published. Fifthly, when I started this series on giftedness in 2017, it kinda gave me the same feeling as I just described. Here I was, talking about giftedness as if I were some kind of expert, when I really wasn't. Sure, I never said I was an expert, and I was learning about giftedness as I went along, but still, I felt like an imposter because I knew there were others out there, doctors, psychologists, therapists, and other gifted people, etc., who knew so much more about giftedness than I did. I am still not an expert, and although the feeling isn't that strong anymore, I still do feel a bit like an imposter because I still don't know everything there is to know about giftedness. There is so much more for me to learn. I don't feel I've reached the rank of expert. And number 6, I work as an EFL teacher at an elementary school. I teach elementary school kids between 4 and 12 years old English. I wasn't trained to be an elementary school teacher though. I was trained to be a high school EFL teacher, and that makes me feel like an imposter at the elementary school where I work because I wasn't trained to work with little and young children. This makes me feel like all my fellow teachers know exactly how to work with young children, and I don't. I've worked in this position for 5 years now, and during my first 3 years, it felt like I was faking it, like I just pretended to know how to deal with little children. Besides, I agonized over even the smallest mistake I made. That activity didn't work, I have to rethink it. As a result, I overworked myself and strived to overachieve. I attributed my success to luck. If I'd taught a good class, I'd tell myself that it was because the children had been easy to work with that day. I felt like I would inevitably be found out as a phony, and still do. I always dread having to step inside the teacher's room as I'm scared I have the letters fraud written all over my face for my coworkers to see. And aside from that, in the teacher's room, I'm a black homosexual man surrounded by primarily white heterosexual women, so I think that also adds to me feeling I don't fit in. Yes, sure. There are days when I do feel I've earned my place and that I belong right where I am, but usually I don't. Now I have a question for you. Do you also struggle with imposter syndrome? If you do, please share your experiences in the comment section below. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe my channel and watch this series from the start. In 2 weeks, I'll be back with a new video in my series on cognitive abilities. Till then, I only want to say 3 things. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye for now.